Okay, so we're going to start now, and in Python, we're going to go through variables. And it says that variables are containers for storing data values. And we've gone through variables before, but it's basically like your clothes drawers. You just put your clothes in, and when you need to use them, so like if you use it in code, you then take them out and use them, and then you put it back in to store them. And here it says Python has no command for declaring a variable. A variable is created the moment you first assign it. So there's not anything like you have this. It's not like I made this and now I'm going to put something inside. No, you just put something straight in the cupboard and it's created. That's what a variable is. And we're going to go through this example.
Excuse me, Joshua.
Yes?
People can't see your screen and neither can I. Okay, I can see it now. I think it's because you had your screen paused.
Yeah, I just noticed that. But I was still on this screen before. I just went on this one now. So, as you can see here, when you run the code, it says x equals 5 and y equals John. And that makes John a string, and it prints the variables. So I could also just print 5 twice. And then it's going to be x for both, and we won't use the variable John. And let's also see what happens if I just remove the variable John. As you can see, there's an error. And it doesn't, well, so you can just fix that by declaring it. It's that when you make a variable, you declare it and you put something inside it. And here it says variables do not need to be declared with any particular type and can even change type after they have been set. So that's basically as if you just need it. It's basically you have it there, it's declared, and you can also just like change the name of it, and you can change what it is. So I could change this from a string to, I forgot, to an integer. Is that the integers aren't only for numbers. As you can see, it says this is an integer like this, and this is a string like this one. So you can just see it here. And it should print both x's, I think. But since it ends up going down the code, it prints the last one because it'll overwrite it. But there are some other ones that won't overwrite it. It's just going to come later in this. And if you want to specify the data type of a variable, this can be done with casting. So this is a string one, and it basically you just set it here. This is an integer and this is a float. We've gone through floats before where it's 0.0. So if we go to this, it'll print all of these. And if I want to just show you how it changes, this is what it's like before. And now that I made this one a float, it's going to be 3.0. And as you can see, it changes. You can't really see the difference between integer and a string, but they are different. As you can see here when it loads, as you can see here, they look the same, but they're actually different. And the floats are really easy to actually see what it is from. Okay. And now with the type, it says you can get the data of a variable with the type function. It's basically you print it, but it can show you the type. So this will say string and that will say integer. So we're going to look at it. And as you can see, it says what type it is. So if I change the type of John, it should. Turns out it actually has to be in a string, but I'm pretty sure if I do it to the right, does it? But I can turn the 5 into a string, so it should then change the type. And as you can see, they're both strings.
So as you can see, thank you, Joshua. As you can see, you cannot convert a string like a John into an integer just like that. It will give an error, but you can convert an integer into a string by putting them in quotes, as what Joshua just showed right now. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Yes. I think we got 4 people, Joshua, that are raising their hands. If you want to ask what the question is.
Like which one, for example, like the variable names or the assigned multiple? Which one are we doing?
So after we finish this, we're going to do another round where you're going to practice with that. Let's just finish first. Then we have a session where you practice. Then we break into rooms. Okay.
And so it's that some people might end up being confused if you use single or double quotes, but they're actually the same thing. And as you can see, the comment says that this, because it has double quotes, is the same as this, which is singular. So you can use either of them. And as you know, for this, it will end up overwriting it, but for this example, it won't. Am I still going to show you it here? So this is the normal one. It's going to print that, and then this is the other one, and it'll print the same. I just realized it was already there. And as you can see now, it prints the same thing because of the quotes. They're the same. And for this one, they won't overwrite each other because you need to be careful if you're using lowercase or capitals. So it won't overwrite it. But if I turn this to that A and remove this, then it will end up overwriting it and it will be Sally and there will be no 4.
Okay, I think that's it right now. So we're going to actually have a session to practice that right now. So then we would start. Okay, thank you, Joshua, for that. So yeah. And I'm going to stop the